And let's dive in to the inside scoop.
All right, let's do it, man. The Broncos got another win against the Raiders. And I think the Broncos played a really good game. Everybody knows Bo Nix and his stats, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. But here's a little bit of film to kind of break down how they got there. So you get Bo Nix. He's in the pocket. He's getting a cover 2 look. So corner's jamming. He's going to be able to sink. You got these 2 safeties in deep pass, and you got the middle field runner running the middle of the field trying to protect the middle of the field. Bo Nix does a good job here sitting in the pocket. O-line does a great job protecting him. We know that we have the best pass blocking offensive line, according to PFF. Can't always take their stats as accurate, but I will take this one. So shout out to the O-line for doing a good job of protecting him. He does come under a little pressure here, but does a great job of keeping his eyes downfield, being able to see his wide receivers. And this position is tough. Like, this is the exact route concept that you want against cover 2. You put the corner in a bind here. So do you sink and protect this one and they throw this one, or do you dive up and then they can hit the deep one? Well, what they teach you is to sink back and then always run and tackle the catch. But what he does is kind of bites on the cheese, little Jordan Humphreys, and that allows Vele to get open on the sideline. Bo Nix does a great job. He throws on him a run here. He doesn't set his feet, which was scary earlier in the year, but he did a great job of getting the ball to Vele here for about 18.
Why wouldn't the safety go over and help? I mean, he'd probably be too late to get there anyway, but it seems like that would be in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, because they tell that corner to play deep to short. And then also with the routes coming from the front side, you can't just vacate this area, because if they run this tight end, instead of running him an in-breaking route, if they run him straight to the post, that's a lot of stress on this linebacker, so they need the safety to stay high and be able to break down.
Yeah, great read by Bo there. And this was a key drive. They started at the 1.
Yep.
And this play really helped him get some breathing room.
Really, really did. So they're continuing to put together some good plays. And I think Bo Nix is finding his stride. And, hopefully he'll be the Rookie of the Year for the Denver Broncos this year. All right, this next play, I got to talk about my guy, Nick Benito. He's doing a lot of stuff in the passing game, and he's able to get to the quarterback, and everybody's recognizing he has 10 sacks, had a great play this game, but he's doing much more than just getting to the quarterback. So right here they have a screen called. They're backed up. They've had a couple penalties to put them in this bad position backed up, and they have this saying, like, on outside linebacker, it feels too good, you got to pull out. So
that's the saying.
That's the saying. Yeah. So this was feeling too good. So Nick does a great job. Like, he does a great job of getting a PBU on this play, and getting in the way of, the receiver trying to run the screen, because actually if they catch this, they have way too many numbers, and he might hit his head on the goalpost. But it's a great job by Nick Benito, but I want to show you, like, the front angle of what he sees. So he's, like, in a wide 9 technique, wide 7 because there's no tight end. So he's rushing off the edge here. But he does a great job of understanding nobody's trying to block me. I know I'm doing a great job of getting to the quarterback, but this just feels too easy. So as soon as he comes off the ball, he puts his foot in the dirt and starts redirecting backwards, because this tackle doesn't even act like he's trying to block him. Now, they tell the tackle to set, fake, and then go, but of course he didn't do his job. But Nick Benito did a great job of feeling, hey, nobody's blocking me on this play. Something's not right. They're not just going to give me sacks. That's not what they're here to do. And there's a great job redirecting here and being able to make this play, because like we said on the first slide, if Nick Benito doesn't make this play, they have more than enough bodies for this play to be very successful for them. So great job by Nick Benito. And these are the plays that you don't realize, they don't highlight, that really are game saving and changing plays.
He blew up 2 of those screens in the first quarter.
Yep.
He did this twice, which is pretty crazy.
Man, that must be the most difficult thing for a pass rusher.
Yeah.
When you've got your ears pinned back, and then it feels too good, you recognize, and then you pull out of that just like he did. Really, really impressive. And that's one of the things, honestly, that Vance Joseph has talked about, why Nick Benito has gotten more sacks, is because he's got more playing time, because he's become more of an all-around player, better in the run game. But then it's things like this, too, that aren't just the run game. It's the mental side of the game, too.
Yeah, pull-out game has to be strong.
Or else what?
Or else you get caught in something you weren't supposed to be in. All right, next play here. This isn't a great play from the Denver Broncos defense, but I just want to break down, why it happened. So we have everybody man-to-man, and unfortunately this play is designed to where everybody's man-to-man and kind of everybody's also responsible for the running back. So based on this play, they have what's called a peel on. So everybody's man to man, but everybody's also blitzing up in the middle. So they have peel, which means that if the running back swings to your side, the defensive end that's to that side is supposed to take him. But if the running back steps up, whoever he blocks has to grab him because we have nobody covering him on this play. So unfortunately, this tough task gets given to Jonah Ellis, and then usually running backs run a lot of swing routes, a lot of check downs, a lot of easy routes for DNs to cover, especially when you have, people heating up the quarterback. You're like, okay, ball's coming out quick. If he has to cover him from 2 or 3 seconds, that's okay. Like we can handle it. But unfortunately, Gardner Minshew does a good job of evading pressure here because we have a free rusher, and then he's able to get this ball to his running back in the end zone. That's just a tough play to make because it's a zero blitz. It's man-to-man. There's no deep safety help, and everybody's rushing, trying to get to the quarterback quickly, and this is the only place he can kind of go with the ball to make a play. And it's tough. It's really tough on a outside linebacker, and, it's not an easy play to make.
So then is that on Vance for making that call? Is that on Jonah for not being able to make a really good play? I mean, you even point out right here, look, he's in pretty damn good coverage there.
Yeah.
Or is that just one where you tip your cap to the Raiders and Gardner Minshew for making the right call and then also making the
you got to tip your hat, to the Raiders. They did a good job on here. I hate giving the Raiders credit, but it's okay because they lost, so we can give them just a little bit of love.
And
I think you just got to say, that was a great job of getting out of the pressure. It's a great job of finding a way to put the ball on his running back. The only thing I can say about Jonah Ellis is maybe get a little bit more head up to inside, because if you guys see right here, Malcolm Roach drops out in coverage to kind of give body help to any crossing routes because we're in man-to-man zero blitz. So a little bit more outside leverage could have helped him on this, but nevertheless, that's a tough route to cover.
And honestly, it was a heck of a throw, heck of a catch, and I take blame off of Vance too for making this call because this was their third string running back.
Yeah.
It's not like, even though he was wearing number 8 and looking like Josh Jacobs, this wasn't Josh Jacobs. It was a guy that, man, if he's going to go out and make a play, I guess you tip your cap. If this is Josh Jacobs, I might change my mind and say, Vance, you can't put Jonah Ellis or a rookie on Josh Jacobs, but it's simply not.
No, it's not. So I don't fault Vance at all for this call.
I agree.
All right, so this is the next play. Oh, this is the interception by Brandon Jones. So, everybody sees the back end and what happened. And he got the interception, but this is why he got the interception. You got your outside rushers doing a great job of collapsing the pocket, getting pressure on him, which causes him to have to throw an errant throw. Because we're in cover 2. I felt like everybody played a lot of cover 2 this game. They actually have space for this route that you'll see open up, but you have Nick Benito and Jonathan Cooper putting a lot of pressure on Gardner Minshew here. And doing a great job rushing the quarterback. That's what causes him to throw an interception. Because if you see it right here, there's space in between Cody Barton and the safety. And if he's able to put the ball on the money like he wants to, that's a completed pass that goes for almost 20 yards. But because of how well we did rushing the quarterback, we make him throw an errant throw. He sells the football, and Brandon Jones is there to get another interception this year and make a big play that helps spring the Broncos to winning this game. Because before this game, we were down 9-13. Things were really going more so in the Raiders' favor than ours. And this leads to the first touchdown of the game for the Broncos and really got us going on offense.
Yeah, rushing coverage right here, just working hand in hand. And that's, again, one of the reasons that made your Super Bowl 50 defense so good is they complemented each other so well. The pass rush would get there, then Aqib, Chris, Stu, all those guys would capitalize on it, get an interception. And then what I loved about this, too, was he caught it about the 40, the 50.
Yeah.
He ran it back into the red zone to just make it so easy for the offense to be able to punch it in.
He's following his blockers, man. I think we talked about that early on in the season when he got an interception. He was just running, doing whatever he wanted, but he did a great job of following his blockers and getting more yards, getting down the sideline, and putting our offense in really, really prime position to score.
And after the game, that's what Bo Nix pointed to as the turning point. He said that interception from Brandon Jones, and I think everyone could feel it, but especially the offense felt like that was a turning point. And, man, it just reminds me of that first Raiders game. Pat Surtain's pick 6, that was the turning point. A Brandon Jones interception here, almost a pick 6, which, a couple plays later led to a touchdown, which we might be watching right now, is the turning point.
Absolutely. All right, this is the next drive. There's 2 plays later after that interception. We get a touchdown to Courtland Sutton, and this is what Bo Nix is seeing. So right now he sees, 2 high safeties, so it could be in cover 2, cover 4, cover 8, different quarters concepts. But he's able to recognize the defense and see how the safeties rotate and what that means for what kind of defense he's getting. So they start out in a too high look, but right as the ball snapped, this safety comes down. So now they're not going to be in a cover 2 or a cover 4. They're more so like in man-to-man. And no matter what, you got Courtland Sutton out here on the island. Safety has to be in the middle of the field. There's no way you can get to anything happening out here. Like, I think from the moment this ball is snapped, Bo Nix knows where he's going with the football. There's no question. So they're trying to heat Bo Nix up. 1, 2, 3, 4. They send 6 bodies. Everybody else is man-to-man. They're trying to heat him up. So that he doesn't have time to throw this ball. But when you have Courtland Sutton on the island, I think you give Courtland Sutton a chance or opportunity. I think he comes down with the football. Talk about him being top 10. You look at yards. You look at receptions now. I just be trying to tell y'all the truth, man. A lot of times y'all don't want to listen to me, but it is what it is. Courtland Sutton does a great job of doing what he does. One-on-one matchups, high point in the football, coming down with it. Great pass, great catch.
Yeah, I love this. And after the game, Court talked us through this play. And he said, man, they singled me up.
Yep.
And we said, okay, you're going to treat me like that? I'll go show you what's up. And then he went and showed him what's up, made that incredible touchdown catch. And he just, right now, he is playing on an absolute tear.
Yeah.
He leads the NFL in receiving yards the past 5 weeks. Since that game where he had 0 catches for 0 yards against the Saints, since that game, he leads the NFL almost 100 yards per game. He has 467 receiving yards, most in the NFL. And the crazy thing about that includes Jamar Chase, who had that, 250-yard game on primetime a couple of weeks ago. That includes a 250-yard game from one of the best receivers in the NFL. And Courtland still has more.
Yeah.
So are you saying I'm right? I'm trying to figure out, what I'm saying?
No, you're right.
Okay.
That's what we've
That's
seen. I said this yesterday, but he has 70 yards in each of those games. Only 2 other players in the NFL have streaks of 5 games with 70 yards this season, and that's Justin Jefferson and Nico Collins. And you go back, the last Bronco to do it was Demaryius Thomas in 2014. It's only happened like 10 times ever for a Bronco. You look at like the guys the past couple years who've done it, like 4 or 5 a year, and every single one of them is like first team All-Pro at some point in his career. Like that's what Cord has done recently.
Wow. Sounds
8th
like
in the
top
NFL
10
in
to
receiving
me.
yards.
We're going to continue this conversation because we've got a super chat that we're going to hit later just about this. So we'll dive into that after the inside scoop.
All right, next play. They've been using Marvin Mims a lot at different positions. A lot of running back now, and I think he's become a big receiving threat. But what I want you guys to understand here is very similar to what happened against us in the red zone and Jonah Ellis. So you got a defensive end who isn't lined up correctly. So this guy right here is not where he's supposed to be. So his teammate tells him, hey, you're supposed to be on the outside. So he moves him to the outside. But once he gets to the outside, you're going to see everybody's man to man. Everybody's locked up. You got the single high safety. But his job, just like Jonas Ellis's job, was you got to peel. Just like this rusher, if you rush off the edge and the running back comes this way, you got to peel this guy to this side because we're man-to-man over here. There's nobody else that has him. But because he was late to line up, he didn't know his assignment, and good for the Broncos, he just rushes the quarterback. And he doesn't do his job of peeling who is the running back in Marvin Mims. And Marvin Mims is wide open. This play goes for like 35 yards. Great play for the Denver Broncos. Offense sets us up for another touchdown. But that's all because of somebody not lining up, knowing their job, knowing their responsibility. And good job by Bo for seeing it so quickly, not trying to force a ball here or make an errant throw. Take the easy pass. Somebody didn't do their job. And sometimes I feel like that's hard as a rookie to just see where the defense is messed up and just take those yards. Not try to force anything, just actually see what they gave you, how they responded to what you ran, and take the easy yards. So great job by the team. Marvin Mims has continued to play well. When he hits the edge with that speed, man, I think he's hard to catch.
No doubt, and great job to Sean Payton for giving him for giving Marvin this role. especially where he can be a safety blanket for Bo. Sometimes that safety net is a tight end or a running back that's not as elusive and can't take those this far. Now it's starting to become Marvin Mims, which is just huge.
Yep, Marvin Mims is playing really well. All right, this is my last one for you. This is the man of the hour, Nick Benito, 10 sacks on the year. Everybody knows him as a, speed rush guy. But I just want you guys to see like the kind of power that he presses into this tackle and just pushes him all the way back into the quarterback. You got to give him credit, but you also got to give this other front credit, because where do you go? They always tell you when you get pressure on the edge, step up. Step up if you want to. There's nowhere to go right here. They did a great job of collapsing the pocket. Nick Benito does a great job of using speed and power to push him all the way back into the quarterback. He's able to get his hand on the football. But look at this.
Yeah.
Where is your quarterback supposed to go with the football? What would you ask him to do? There's nothing that he could do here to help your team besides give up the football, because Nick Benito's doing a great job, but the entire front four is doing a great job getting after the quarterback. And I would hate to be in this position as a quarterback. Like, I'm yelling at every. You know how like when you do good as a running back, you buy everybody like a Rolex or a car. Like I'm taking cars away. I'm taking everything away. Like you guys got to walk to work. You guys got to take the bus.
Slashing the tires.
Yeah, you can't leave me out here to dry like that.
You're walking to work tomorrow.
Got to.
Well, it's fun that's Colton Miller too. Like, for all the scrubs that the Raiders have out there, that's like a legitimate starting left tackle in the NFL. And Nick Benito just bullied him, which is so fun because, like, we kind of been waiting for him to have some sort of counter move.
Yeah.
Because the first couple years, it's just pure speed, pure speed, pure speed. But then as soon as you add that speed to power, you can just get the guy on his heels and drive him back. All of a sudden, you start having 10-sack seasons. And it's been pretty fun to watch.
And it's just wild that this is his first 10-sack season of his life.
Yeah.
Going back, not just in the NFL, going back to college, going back to high school. And it's just a credit to him. I mean, he is still developing as a player. And if you're still developing as a 10-sack guy, it's really encouraging for the Broncos and for his bank account, because pass rushers are paid tons of money.
Yep.
Second in the NFL in sacks right now. We'll be talking about him as a guy that after the season might be getting a massive extension. He's not a guy that can get an extension during the season because he's still in his third year right now. But after the season, we will be talking about that.